Madam Clerk, okay. We'll call this meeting to order. Thank you all for being here this evening. We'll begin the evening with a moment of silence. We can pray, meditate, or just enjoy a moment of silence to yourself. Thank you. If you'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Okay, moving into the public comment period. We don't have anybody signed up, but is there anybody that wishes to speak during public comment? Okay, hearing none. Moving into the approval of the minutes. Council, any corrections, additions, or deletions to the minutes presented? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I'll make the motion.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. Moving on, the updates from council, if there are any. Any updates?
No.
All right, hearing none. Moving on to the consent agenda. Any questions, comments, concerns related to any item on the consent agenda? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Is there a second?
I'll second.
There a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion carries and the consent agenda is approved. Moving into our first discussion item, item number 13, the presentation and the annual report from the Asheville Regional Airport. Mr. Lou Blue Wise, thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of Town Council. Appreciate your opportunity to speak to you all tonight, give you a little update. Again, these are from our statistics for 2024. You have our annual 24 operational annual report. Hopefully passed out. You'll find some pleasure and a very boring time to read it, but it's good information. From an air service perspective, we had 6 carriers operating out of the airport last year: Allegiant, American, Delta, JetBlue, Sun Country, and United. We had 27 nonstop destinations out of Asheville. Baltimore, unfortunately, ended at the end of 2024, but we did add Houston in early 25 and Washington Dulles Airport this past June. From a passenger perspective, we had a total of 2,174,124 passengers fly through the airport. That is down 3.2% for the year. Basically, it's all due to Hurricane Helene. Seats in the market were up 2.7% for a total of 1,410,577 seats, and load factor was slightly down 5.4% to a total of 77.57%. From an operations standpoint, in 2099, the airlines had 2,099 aircraft operations. That's down 0.9% again, all due in the fall because of Helene. General and aviation military, we had 2,348. That was down 27.3%. That is despite the fact that the military operations were dramatically increased in September and October because of Helene. Just as a side note, as a perspective, we usually have around 300 flights a day with general aviation and commercial service aircraft. During the 2 weeks after Helene, we were averaging 900 flights a day with all the military helicopter and general aviation coming in for their support of rescue and for supply missions. From a construction standpoint, we finished the South Shuttle parking lot. That was approximately a $10 million project. Continued to work on the airport terminal building, of which we had the ribbon cutting last month for the first half. And we continue to work on the new FAA control tower over off of Ferncliff Park Drive. Community-wise, again, we had our runway 5K. We raised just under $24,000. The 3 recipients was AB Tech Aviation Foundation, WNCA Pilots Association Foundation, and Big Brothers Big Sisters, who is a charitable partner that the Airport Authority partners up with. We had, right after Helene and at the end of October, we had AVL Fire Truck and Treat. It was an opportunity. Eminent Mars donated a bunch of candy. We were able to have a trick or treat with some of our fire trucks out in our cell phone lot for the Halloween event. We continue to have pause for passengers. AVL Gives is our internal charitable contribution program for communities or for organizations within the community. Employees raised over $8,000 and went to various non-profit organizations, including Big Brothers Big Sisters. We continue to participate with the AVL Blood Drive. We continue to have the Blue Ridge Honor Flight, recognizing our veterans going up to Washington, D.C., and music in the airport. From an economic impact study, which this report came out in January of 2025, it's a biannual, or every 2 years, the state does an economic impact, and the Asheville Regional Airport now contributes $3.85 billion to Western North Carolina economic impact. So we do have that huge contribution to this region. From a financial standpoint, our operating revenues were $28,891,000. Operational expenses was $14.8 million, leaving a net $14 million in change that goes back into capital projects at the airport. At the end of 2024, the assets of the authority were $314,327,687, which is an increase of $40.7 million over the prior year. That concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
So we're still number third, we're still the third largest.
We are still the third after Charlotte and Raleigh, that is correct.
What's happening with the Conference Center Hotel project?
Obviously, that will be a great boon for you all. The golf course is making great progress in coming back from Helene. The driving range is open and has been for a little bit. They were hoping to have the golf course open by this coming October. It will be ready for play in October, but the golf course folks, Dreamcatchers, who manages the course, have decided to wait till spring just to give the grass and everything time to grow and really root before they put play on it. But things are coming along. It's going to be, the course was getting better before Helene. It's going to be a phenomenal course now. It's being rebuilt, and we're really excited about that. Along with that, Dreamcatchers is also working with the partners to start their hotel, and we're expecting it really to start anytime now between now and the end of the year. So construction should be working its way through. Obviously, they'll be working with your planning folks because it falls in Fletcher. So that'll all be hopefully coming up soon.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Are they doing any of the stream repairs to help that out at all in the future as far as trying to prevent?
We're hoping to, we have partnered up with Conserving Carolina for a conservation easement along the riverbanks. Us and the Taproot Dairy Subdivision have partnered up with Conserving Carolina. So we're hoping that Conserving Carolina still continues to get their grants from the state. And we're hoping that they actually get more. They think they're going to get a little more money because of the stream restoration because of Helene. And so if they do that, then yes, we will be renovating that whole riverbanks on both sides for us and the subdivision going in over there. One positive note, I'm not sure if you all play golf or not. I don't, or I haven't in years. The cart path, I think it was hole 14, basically was up against the river and started caving in because of the riverbank washing away before Helene. In the reconstruction of the golf course, they have relocated that whole cart path and doesn't even come near the riverbank anymore. So that's all been good.
Wonderful. I'm not sure that any of us are golf players, but former council member Bob Davey, if you remember, that would have been,
Mr. Davey played.
Probably would have been very, very happy to hear that, I'm sure. One of the big things I know Western North Carolina has been worried about is tourism in the area. And you might have mentioned this already, but is ridership going back to normal levels? I mean, are we seeing,
We're still down a little bit. We're down roughly around 7%. As I mentioned, we ended up down 3.2% last year. We're still down a little bit. We saw progressive growth each month after Helene. The lowest was, we were down 50% in our traffic in October, rightly so, right after the hurricane. We were down 25% in November, 12.5%, 13% in December, so we were seeing good, comeback. January, we saw some. February dropped a little bit, and then we've been coming back a little bit. It's been steadying about 7% below where we were last year. 3 factors go into that. We're not sure what it is. Helene could be one of them with the, traffic. 2 is the economy in general with what's going on in Washington, D.C. with tariffs and all that. And the third one is we artificially held our passenger and our airlines down for the month of June and July for construction of the apron ramp, or the terminal ramp that needed some repairs before we opened up the new terminal. And so that was an artificial cap that we put on the airlines. That has some of it also to do with it. The seats that we're projecting in the fall, come September, is 10% higher than the numbers last year. And last year's were going to be the highest numbers we saw before Helene hit. So on top of that, we've got another 10% increase this year. So we're hoping that the fall really becomes our region's reset with everyone coming back to the community. Governor Stein was just out today. He's doing a Western North Carolina tour and boosting travel and tourism. And so he came out to the airport, did a press release today with the media. Again, rediscovering, how did he word it? Rediscovering the unforgettable is his initiative to get people to come back to Western North Carolina. And kicked off last week with the opening of Chimney Rock, and he's been doing some other things, and he was at the airport today. So hopefully we'll get our tourists back.
yeah, wonderful. Hopefully it rebounds this fall.
Absolutely.
What other questions do we have? Sounds like none. Well, we appreciate all the work that the airport's doing, and well done on the new terminal. Again, it
Great.
looks good.
Thank you, and we appreciate the partnership with the town of, with the town of Fletcher, so thank you very much.
We thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
You too.
All righty, moving on to discussion item number 14, the discussion on the location of the summer concert. That's to take place on August 16th. Mr. Josh Queen, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. How are y'all?
Doing well.
Good. So I met with you, the May Council meeting, talking about the park versus the auction house. We had our first concert at the auction house June the 7th. It was wonderful. Had a great turnout. That Tuxedo Junction was our band. I think, Mayor, you were there.
I was there.
Full house. That was great. Great weather until the very end. It rained, so we had to close it down just a little bit early. But we did offer overflow parking at Town Hall. Wasn't utilized that much, but we did have some cars that we shuttled over. It was just a great night. We have our next concert coming up August the 16th. We'd like to go back. We've been invited back to the auction house. We've got a band, the Showboat Band. They're great. I heard them this weekend. They're really good. So the park, it's a wonderful park. It's beautiful. It's just not a great space for a concert. It's August. It's hot. There's no covering for seating. But I'm open for discussion with you guys. See what you think.
I have no problem with it going back to the auction house. It seemed like when I was there, it went well. There was shade, there was places for people to sit, so they didn't have to bring chairs, and people could easily go get food. So I have no issue with that. I know.
Josh, is there any kind of guesstimation on how many people attend the auction house on a normal weekend compared to the amount of people that showed up when Fletcher had their event, or who actually came for the event, not just for the auction house?
Well, the auction house marketed it as well, and we did it as well as on social media. I mean, I've been to the auction house, and the weekends are crowded.
Yeah,
They come
that's
to
why I
hear-
was wondering.
They come to hear live music, they come to get the food. I think a little more people than normal was at the auction house that weekend, but it's always crowded on the weekend. I don't have a number.
Yeah, I figured it'd be hard to tally anyway, but that was just asking everybody came through, but.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something else. If we were to build a platform or pavilion building, you know, put it in the budget for next year or something, if that was to be possible to do, would that make things easier for the summer concert series at the park? I mean, I know it would help out for the summer camp and stuff like that, to have one more shelter or something there that would be there, because I've always been an advocate for getting something else out there. But would that be like a really good deal breaker for, or something that would help out you and your employees to set it up, get it done better, not worrying about, you know, rain as much? I mean, it wouldn't help with the shade, you know, but it would for whoever's entertaining.
I think it would create an atmosphere for a concert if it was an amphitheater or a building shed to hold our concert. So yes, definitely that would work.
If we could build something like what we've got now already, but with a taller ceiling and maybe a platform where it's up higher and big, you know what I'm saying, like the little gazebo or whatever that little area is called, the pavilion. I would think something like that, even if it was open on all sides or open on 3 sides, you know, backed up to field 1, kind of facing the field.
I like that idea, and to create an atmosphere of a concert.
And we could get multiple uses out of that. We could rent it like we do the other properties, or like I said, we could use it for summer camp, because I know that that's always a problem, and our summer camp is so popular. It sure would be nice to have some shade for the kids to sit and eat, or if it rained or something
And we
like
can kind of
that.
split them up and go,
Yeah.
because we're crammed in that little shelter. But that's a good idea, thank you.
If you did that, we'd probably want to look at some different options for, is it an amphitheater, is it a shelter, is it a
Yes.
combination? Some idea of where specifically, some ballpark cost estimates, and then do you include it, or at least include it in the discussion for potential CIP or capital improvement plan projects? Because we'll be updating our capital improvement plan this fall, because we're going into this current fiscal year that we just started. We're in year 5 of our 5-year CIP. So I'll be working with staff and with you all about identifying projects for the next 5-year cycle. So maybe this could be a part of that discussion
That
and
wasn't my dream.
exploration.
dream list.
I think that it ought to
Another
be
shelter.
I think it ought to be a multi-use, amphitheater / platform, something that would be not just an amphitheater. You know, I mean, I would love to have a nice amphitheater in Fletcher. That would be, out here on our property in the field would be
Yeah.
ideal, because parking could be up there, and,
Yeah.
but that's something totally different. But could we not allocate our money from the ARPA stuff that we've transferred, that's gone right back into our community, and that's something that everybody could benefit from and enjoy that goes to the park?
Yeah, that would be an eligible use of money, the 2.6 million that we have in there for capital projects, or just appropriations that you do annually. You're already setting aside some of the levy from the, right now, 6 cents of the tax rate for CIP, so it could be funded annually from that revenue or from the CIP reserve for that, or a combination, or,
Well, when we go to those conversations, let's definitely remember that for sure.
Yeah.
Rob.
Okay.
yeah. Floodplain's a challenge in there.
Yeah.
Because it's all in the floodway, so just keep that in mind, that's a challenge with this. Put more structures out there.
Now, getting back to the main point, though, as far as having the concert, am I talking too much?
No, you're fine.
You're good.
Sorry. I've had a lot of people approach me that don't want to have both of the concert series at a brewery, for whatever the reasons are, whether it's religion or whatever comes about. I've had people the past 2 or 3 years, talk to me about not having them both at Blue Ghost, or having them at the thing. They definitely want to have one at the park. I've also had Roy has approached me because he's got that lease down there, and he wants to have one there also. So I'm leaning towards having it at the park, and I'm not trying to add work onto y'all or extra stress or any of that stuff, but the people that have approached me have been pretty adamant that they want one at the park, just for that reason, not having it at a brewery or a venue like that. So it's,
That's why we kind of chose Auction House. I don't consider it a brewery, it's a food house. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it does sell alcohol there.
yeah.
But I don't consider it a brewery.
No, it's not. This is in the past that was brought up.
Oh,
but-
for the blue, yes.
For the Blue Ghost, but no, it's, so I've had people that keep telling me that they would like to have one of them at least at the thing, and I tell them it's just easier on our
Yeah.
staff and more feasible for us to have one at the auction house. But I can understand that they want to have one at our park also.
I got positive feedback about the auction house, so
I did too on our social media as well. It just creates an atmosphere, but I did have some people say, hey, we put that to the park. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's both.
and so I know
I've
that,
gotten both.
I know Jim's preference was the park, I believe, and if I had to guess, Trevor's probably is true, so that's probably, or did you have any strong opinions, Amber?
Not
About-
really. I mean, I understand both. I
Okay.
mean, auction house, I think would be easier, being that it's right around the corner.
Yeah,
And, yeah, thanks, Mayor, because Jim shared, and he did say he didn't have any problem with it over at Auction House, but about rotating the one for August over back to the park. So,
If we typically continue to do that, maybe we ought to do the first one at the park where it's a little cooler than the middle of summer at the end right there. And do the second one at the auction house or somewhere where they have the covered tables and the stuff that you had mentioned previously. So,
and we'll continue to offer the shuttle service, so, because it really gets full over there, it can on the weekends with music, and hopefully advertise that well and make sure people take advantage of it, since it is a nice service, because they've had parking challenges when they're, other times that they're
Oh, yeah,
really,
that was
that they're
done.
really busy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all done.
I mean, since the opening.
So my hearing at the park for the next one.
I think that sounds like the majority. I think, if I had to guess, Trevor's probably,
Sure.
Park.
I had most
Yeah, yeah.
last time as well.
yeah.
Okay.
So it sounds like that's the majority back
Okay.
to the
All
park.
right. Y'all have a good night.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Josh, you're
Josh.
doing a great job, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Josh.
All righty. Moving on to discussion item number 15, the selection of the individual to fill the vacancy in District 4. We have 3 candidates, and you all have your ballots already. I think we voted. The only ballots that count are Keith's and Amber's, since y'all are the only ones
And
present.
once again, incredible candidates.
Yeah.
This is becoming the normal, it's incredible.
I know I don't vote on this or have any input into who you select, but I will say over the
It's a very
years,
strong pool,
it's nice
yeah.
to see a lot of people from the community express interest in really good, qualified candidates who can contribute a lot if they're appointed.
I
So-
agree.
Yeah.
And looking at other boards and commissions, we're trying to hold on to people's applications if there's something else maybe they want to.
And there is
Yeah,
an
Yeah,
ABC
like
board
we have a, yes.
vacancy coming up, so
Still,
that's,
yes.
keep that in the back of your brain too. That's something we need help on.
Alrighty, though, we have a majority for council selected Mr. Douglas Ferguson. And so you will be appointed. We'll make that, do we need to still make a motion, Christine?
Yes.
Okay.
Please,
Well-
just for the record.
Yes, ma'am. You got it. All right, when do you all make a motion to appoint Mr. Douglas Ferguson for the District 4 seat on the planning board?
I make the motion to select Douglas Ferguson for the fourth, what'd you say?
District.
Yeah, District 4, yeah.
Zoning and planning position.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, it is approved. And Doug, congratulations. We're looking forward to you serving, and to everybody else, continue to stay involved in the town of Fletcher. Again, we have a really incredible pool of folk, and so I hope to see you all, if not in another position, to continue to come back to our council meetings and be involved with the town. So we appreciate you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, and moving into your town manager's report, Mark.
Okay, thank you, Mayor, Council. A a lot of repeat of last week when I updated you on, and maybe just a few more things about the park repairs that we have underway from the Helene damage. The ball fields, multi-use courts, dog park project, it's essentially done now. We actually did a walkthrough last Friday, I believe it was, and we have a lot of punch list items. There's a lot of things that need to correct. I mean, to go look at it and use some of the facilities, you probably might not notice any of these things. But, so Josh Queen, our Parks and Rec director, was out there for the walkthrough. I wasn't out right at the walkthrough, but he was there, and then Ben Cathy from McGill Associates, since they did the construction administration with our contractor, and then the contractor has to be there in the sub. And there was some things, there's a bunch of things that need to be corrected. There was some parts not put up with the ball fields, the tension on the meshing, particularly on the courts, on the multi-purpose courts, the pickleball and some of the tennis court need to be retensioned or taken down and put back up properly. There was some gaps on some of the courts, so there's some things that need to be addressed, and so, you know, that has to happen before we release final payment on it. But they're very well aware of it, but I mean, they're playable. The baseball fields are playable, and I think we're opening back up the pickleball courts, but.
I think they opened today.
Yeah, I think so. They got we had put nets, or the contractors put nets up, because people have been dying to use pickle. I mean, they've been bringing portable pickleball nets, and then they have to get off, and so. But that's essentially done, a fair number of punch list items. The other thing that obviously people are dying to use is the rest of our greenway trails. So the other project, as you know, is the repair of the bridge, and then there's two sections of the stream bank that have to be repaired. The one down near Mills Gap Road, and then the other one in the main portion of the park. We had our pre-construction meeting with the contractor Thursday, I believe it was, last week. And they'll be starting on July 21st on that work. You'll probably see maybe some equipment, materials being staged earlier than that, but I mean, today's already the 14th, so it's less, you know, it's a week away. But by the 21st, you should see them out there doing work. They're not going to do the bridge first. The first thing will probably be the it's going to be the far stream bank by Mills Gap. And the reason is we don't want to do the bridge and people coming across, and they're trying to work on that down there, because the more they can keep people out of that area, especially high traffic, the easier it is to control the site for safety purposes. So they'll work on that, then the bridge, and then the damaged stream bank portions that are part of this project in the main portion of the park. There's two of them. So that'll be underway very, very soon here. They have 90 days to complete the project. So, but we're looking forward to, as our, you know, our public here is, to getting that open back up and people being able to use it. They really appreciate that extension of the Greenway. The waterway cleanup from Hurricane Helene, just a reminder, and I know we're getting people from the public calling us, kind of verifying some of these things, but the subcontractor that the county's using to do debris removal from waterways, they have to get, a lot of cases, a right of entry agreement. So it's basically like you as a private property owner, they're giving them access to come across your property to get into the waterway. And so people have been granting that. The town has for our property across from Meritor and down near Mills Gap Road, so that section down there. to get into Cane Creek. They're going to be working on a fair number of waterways. We've heard Hooper's Creek, Higgins Branch, which is the one that, runs down Fanning Bridge Road here between Branham Acres, Fletcher Hills, out that way. So that's underway. We're trying to, communicate to the public about this so we can help them to do their jobs a little bit easier. But, and we're appreciate the county taking the lead in this and getting that done. So, next thing I was going to talk about, and I know I covered this last week, but that stormwater review of that culvert and some of the properties that are impacted near 96 Wilkie Way over in Fletcher Hills. McGill Associates is working on a couple options on that. It's probably going to be the August meeting to have a report and see if we can make a decision on if we're going to do anything above making sure the appropriately sized drainage culverts there. So there's some other things we're looking at. So you'll probably hear from Ben Cathy on that from McGill Associates.
Are they already determined if the properly sized culvert is there, or are they still?
I think the appropriate size is in place right now. As you know, it was partially clogged with.
Right, because of that.
Yeah, and it's just coming through faster than, the two adjoining property owners just downstream or
Yeah, sure.
downgrade from that would like.
Yeah.
So, let's see, and they'll look at that again too, McGill, and their analysis of it about the right size pipe. Town Center, I don't have a lot to update you on. I reached out again to Summit Marketing to make sure we can get our final version of the brochure marketing document for the Town Center project. If you recall, they were getting updated aerial footage with a drone and they were editing it. So I was hoping to have an updated version to show you all to make sure you're comfortable with it. I know there was some interest in adjusting the aerial view, looking west across the property here. So, let's see. Oh, and I'll be sharing the information that McGill Associates presented last week on those different scenarios on the property, on the Town Center property for layout of commercial, residential, number of units that are feasible on the property. So I'll be getting that to any interested party, but particular to our developer who was under contract previously, who's expressed interest, Lewis Real Estate Group. So be getting that to them. And I mentioned last week the updated municipal fire district rating. So they do this every so many years, the fire department, with the Department of Insurance and the State Fire Marshal's office, or Office of the State Fire Marshal. And so our district, which is Fletcher Municipal Fire District, received a rating of ISO rating 3, which is a great rating, and so they're maintaining that. And then they get a different one for their district that goes outside into the unincorporated areas. So that was all I had for my updates, unless there's any questions on any of this.
It's awesome. I was glad to see that rating 3, because
Yeah.
that's going to help us a lot.
Yeah, and again, for the public who haven't heard this before, that, the lower the number, the better the rating, and it impacts your homeowner's insurance rates as being in an area that's better equipped to respond to fire issues.
Wonderful.
Yep.
And also for insurance rates. So
Yes.
We like that too.
Yes.
All right, any other questions, comments from Mark? Any other business from council? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.